The land was full of powerful kings, and every one of them had heard what Israel's God had done. They decided to stop arguing and start fighting. A great alliance was forming against Israel. Joshua had just defeated Jericho and Ai. His name was spreading fear across the whole region. But the people of Gibeon had a different plan. Not war, something far more clever. They dressed in their oldest clothes. They packed stale bread and cracked wineskins. They wanted to look like they had walked for months. They set off toward the Israelite camp at Gilgal. Every step of the way, they rehearsed their story. They walked straight into Joshua's camp and bowed before him. "We have come from a very distant land," they said. "Make a treaty with us." Israel's leaders were not so sure. "What if you live nearby?" they pressed. "How could we ever make a treaty with you then?" "Look at our wineskins," they said. "They were brand new when we left. Look at our bread. It was still warm from the oven. Our clothes are worn out. Our sandals are falling apart. It has been such a long journey to reach you." Every word was a performance. The leaders looked over the worn provisions carefully. The evidence seemed convincing, but they never stopped to ask God what he thought. God was right there, ready to guide them, but no one thought to ask. And just like that, Joshua made a peace treaty with them. The leaders sealed it with a solemn oath in God's name. The deal was done. 3 days later, the truth came out. The strangers were not from far away at all. They lived just up the road. The Israelite army was furious. They had been tricked. But the leaders stood firm. "We gave our oath in God's name. We cannot break it." The whole community pressed in on the leaders with angry voices. But an oath was an oath. God's name had been spoken over it. So the Gibeonites were allowed to live. But their freedom was gone. They would serve Israel from that day forward. Joshua called them forward and looked them in the eye. "Why did you trick us?" he asked. There was no hiding now. "We heard what your God promised you," they said. "We were terrified. We just wanted to live. We are in your hands now. Do what you think is right." Joshua heard their words, and he showed mercy. He kept his oath. He kept them safe. From that day on, the Gibeonites became woodcutters and water carriers for all of Israel. Humble work. Every single day. They carried water and cut wood for the house of God. Even their humble service became part of something much larger. God's plans cannot be stopped. Even human mistakes get woven into something greater than we can see. Israel kept their word, even when they had been deceived. An oath made in God's name still meant everything. The Gibeonites chose deception to survive. But God used even that choice to fulfill his purpose. His word always finds a way.